Ahead on Touch Vision, 3D printing a teddy bear. And clumsy crooks who started a shootout with no one.
Babies require persistence, patience, a sense of humor, and protection. That's why nearly all parents choose immunization. It's safe, proven protection against 14 serious diseases like measles and whooping cough. So give your baby the recommended vaccines before age 2 and get a little help in the protection department. For more reasons to immunize, talk to your child's doctor or go to cdc.gov/vaccines.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Introducing Touch Vision, the revolutionary way to reach America's new mainstream on all devices with a complete reimagination of news and information. This is television for the digital world. Touch Vision is a live 24/7 TV channel that runs simultaneously on air, on phones, and on tablets.
Touch Vision.
Experience Touch Vision.
I was injured.
There was a lot at stake.
I called Hupy and Abraham.
No charge to call them.
They started working for me.
Fast.
Confidential and free.
An actual law firm.
With real people that I could talk to.
At the hospital the next day.
Hupy and Abraham.
They even came to my house.
800-800-5678.
It was like flicking a switch.
I got more than I thought I'd get.
You need to call a lawyer that will fight. Fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Call 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham right now.
Now you can experience Touch Vision.
We have an outstanding #1 Jim Dandy, best in the business. None any better cabin crew to take good care of you back in the cabin.
Touch Vision is a live 24/7 TV channel that runs simultaneously on air, on phones, and on tablets. Think of it as your non-stop news movie of the world.
Touch Vision.
iPhone or Droid, we've got your app, and it's free.
Printing is about to become warm and fuzzy. Researchers have come up with a 3D printer that uses yarn instead of plastic. It looks like a felting machine, but it works by using the same principles and CAD models that are used in 3D printing. The result is a soft 3D object that can be used in interactive devices. So far, the prototype's been used to make teddy bears.
Why are you guys Frankensteining bears like Nazi doctors? What kind of species are you that you would do that?
The 3D printer is under development at Carnegie Mellon University. Disney Research is backing the concept. They're looking into ways the printer can be used to make soft toys like soft robots or teddy bears. In the future, they're hoping the technology can use customized fabric and other materials to create apparel and stuffed animals with electronics for movable features.
These bozos are being called the clumsiest crooks in Texas. Their horribly botched robbery began at a sex store in Houston. Like many of the great heists in history, of the 3 thieves, 2 of them had guns. At some point, they ended backing into each other, which set off one of the guns.
Who's there?
Thinking they were under attack, both started shooting. Of course, no one fired back, because there was nobody there, just a few mannequins.
Oh, nice shooting, Tex.
Somehow, our bozos were able to make it out without shooting themselves. Cops are still looking for the trio of amateurs.
You are a bozo.
Here's what's happening in Milwaukee from CBS 58 News.
A carbon monoxide scare clears a South Side apartment building, and apparently this wasn't the first time it's happened. Tenants were sent outside when the gas filled the building at 26th and Morgan this morning. We Energies blames the problem on a faulty furnace. Everyone's okay. That tenant tells CBS 58 that the same thing happened this past winter. We found that this complex has a history of problems with faulty carbon monoxide and smoke detectors dating back to 2012. 6 more local Red Cross volunteers have left Milwaukee for areas ravaged by those strong storms down south this week. 1 volunteer left on Tuesday. Now, this latest group will help storm victims in Arkansas, Kansas, and in Mississippi. Milwaukee aldermen are considering an ordinance that would limit the places where pet shops get their animals. It would stop those stores from buying dogs and cats or rabbits from puppy mills or mass breeding facilities. They would instead have to get animals for sale from an animal control center, animal care facility, or rescue shelter. Alderman Tony Zielinski and other supporters say that these places care about the welfare of the animals, not just about making a profit. But opponents, like the operators of Tiny Tykes Pet Store, says that the ordinance would kill their business.
Our goal is to drive these puppy mills out of business. When you have, there's this one puppy mill, they have over 1,000 dogs, 2 workers. Now imagine 2 workers caring for 1,000 dogs.
I think dogs need to be treated humanely, and it needs to be regulated. So, you know, all the laws that are in effect are good laws.
Common Council Committee voted to table the proposal while more information is gathered. The Lake Express high-speed ferry launched its new season today with its first run to Michigan and back. We caught up with a Madison man who's actually taking his vintage boat to Michigan for some repairs.
To take a wooden boat on a truck around Chicago would be a little bit difficult with the traffic and the bumps in the road and everything like that. So this is much easier to take the boat across. But it's a little bit weird taking a boat to go over to Michigan.
Lake Express can cross the lake in about 2.5 hours, offers 4 daily trips, 6 during the months of July and August. This is the 10th year of operation.
Ooh, crazy's what they think about me. Ain't gonna stop 'cause they tell me so.
For the 4th day in a row, Summerfest has released a list of headliners for one of its ground stages. That's Fitz and the Tantrums, one of the bands booked for the Briggs & Stratton Big Backyard stage. Their show is set for the 4th of July. Other headliners include the Buddy Rich Big Band, Rusted Root, Ziggy Marley, and former Styx frontman Dennis DeYoung.
Reports of sexual assault cases in the military doubled in 2013. The Pentagon says the 50% increase is a sign that victims are more comfortable reporting assaults, but adds that the military has a long way to go before the problem is solved.
We also believe these crimes are still underreported. So we must keep up the pressure and intensify our efforts to improve victim confidence in our system as we work to prevent sexual assault in the military.
More than 5,000 reports of assault came in last year. The Marine Corps recorded an 86% increase, the Army 51%, the Navy 46%, and the Air Force 42%. The Pentagon believes their campaign to get more victims to come forward is working. Hagel's escalating measures to prevent sexual assault within the ranks, ordering 6 initiatives to get the problem under control.
Taxpayers are going to have to fork out over $121 million for new fixes and features to the Obamacare website.
What do you know?
That's $31 million more than the White House was thinking, bringing the grand total cost for the glitch-ridden site to nearly $800 million. But Republicans are warning spending on the site could go on.
I've lost my patience.
In April, Health and Human Services boss Kathleen Sebelius resigned. She took a lot of heat for the site's rocky rollout.
She should be deported.
Her likely successor, Sylvia Burwell, is hoping the site's troubled days are over.
There's little hope for up to 30 illegal miners in Western Colombia, trapped by a mine collapse. 5 have been pulled from the earth, only 2 of them alive, and the others are buried by upwards of 60 feet of dirt and rocks. The governor of the region says the miners were using heavy machinery to open holes, causing one of the walls to cave in.
Rob Ford's family is breathing a sigh of relief as the Toronto mayor heads off to rehab. Ford left for treatment Thursday.
Any comment this morning? Where were you off to today, sir? Any statements at all? Good luck, sir. To rehab?
That quiet reaction was a little different than his usual antics.
Thank you, Ford Nation! Thank you! Thank you!
Ford's departure comes as new pictures and videos surfaced this week from Toronto paper The Globe and Mail. In them, Ford can be seen holding a long metal pipe. While there's no word what kind of treatment the mayor will be receiving, his brother, who's a Toronto city councilman, says it was time to get help.
As an older brother, I'm relieved that Rob has faced his problems and has decided to seek professional help.
Rob Ford still plans on running for re-election this fall.
I won't back down.
Cops in Maryland are letting anyone follow along on an undercover operation by using Twitter. The Prince George County cops are planning to live tweet as they bust those soliciting prostitution next week. You can watch the whole thing go down online. They've even created a hashtag for the operation. Despite the obvious ethical questions, PGPD is promising to plaster the perps' photos and information right on their Twitter handle. No word exactly when or where they'll be making the busts.
It's all about that money. Gotta get that money.
Ford's being an overachiever. The car maker is planning on hiring more people than it had promised a few years ago. A contract signed in 2011 between Ford and the United Automobile Workers guaranteed 12,000 people will be able to get a job with Ford by 2015. But the company's record profits are helping Ford move ahead of schedule. So far, 75% of the promised 12,000 jobs have been filled. Ford's achievement comes as the company is replacing its CEO. The car maker confirmed that current CEO Alan Mullally will be replaced by Mark Fields on July 1st.
Fewer bowls of Kellogg's cereals are being poured. Sales for Kellogg's breakfast division fell by 5.5% in the first quarter. The decline in sales is marking a trend in which Americans are reaching for breakfast alternatives, like Greek yogurt and breakfast sandwiches from fast food chains. Kellogg's is also falling behind in the cereal competition. Other brands are getting more popular by offering healthier options. Kellogg's will be launching a major ad campaign touting its cereal's nutritional benefits, but it doesn't expect that will change the downward trend.
More mobile users are signing up for T-Mobile. The company said that thanks to its discounts and promotions, T-Mobile's added 2.4 million more customers during its first quarter. The hike in customers led to a push in its stock by more than 9%. A year ago, T-Mobile added only 600,000 customers in the same quarter.
Ahead on Touch Vision, a cure for diabetes could be linked to cloning. And ahead of the Derby, 60 seconds with a jockey.
All around town, from stores to playgrounds, babies are on the move. And there are diseases that are on the move too. And some of these spread easily. To best protect him from 14 serious diseases by the time he turns 2 years old, vaccinate him according to the recommended schedule. So he can go on about his business and you can have peace of mind. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor or go to cdc.gov/vaccines.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
Introducing Touch Vision. Touch Vision is a live 24/7 channel that runs simultaneously on air, online, on phones, and on tablets. Each video segment is a complete story, a news movie, scripted and scored with rich soundtracks and compelling graphics. And there are no anchors on Touch Vision. The story is the star.
Touch Vision.
Experience Touch Vision.
This May, having a case of the Mondays is a good thing.
Looking forward to it.
Symptoms include contagious laughter.
You kind of remind me of my mother.
Ow! Red eyes caused by tears of joy.
When did you get your horse?
And a melting of the heart.
I'm practically tap dancing every time I see you.
So get a case of From the Heart Mondays.
That was something. That was really something.
On this.
Call me Beaver?
Leave It to Beaver is on me.
Who, me?
Me TV.
Gee, Dad. Gee, Mom. Gee. Gee, Eddie. Gee, Wally.
Gee.
Gee.
Gee, Eddie.
Gee, Mrs. Cleaver.
Not GTV.
Gee, do you mean I just might have thought I was on television?
Beaver, of course you were on television.
Yes, Leave It to Beaver is on Me TV.
That'd be all right with me. Me too.
Weekdays at 7 on Me TV Milwaukee.
The answer to curing type 1 diabetes may lie in cloning not humans, but embryonic stem cells that come from humans. Type 1 diabetes prohibits the body from producing insulin, a hormone needed to convert sugars, starches, and other food into energy. The result is high blood sugar levels. But for the first time, an American-Israeli team of scientists used human cloning techniques to trigger insulin production. Using a woman with type 1 diabetes, they took the damaged DNA from her skin cells and injected it into donated human eggs stripped of its own DNA. Together, they were grown into embryos. Then scientists removed stem cells from the early embryos and turned them into cells that produce insulin. Since engineered cells would match the patient's DNA, her body wouldn't reject them. But the procedure faces a lot of hurdles. One, the cloning worked about 10% of the time, and not all of the embryos led to viable stem cells. And of course, there are the ethical objections, destroying the embryo for the use of stem cells.
And we got a lot of frozen embryos. And we're saying, well, let's make some utility out of them.
These bills illustrate both the promise and perils we face in the age of biotechnology.
But the team behind it hopes, once it's mastered, it could be used for a wide range of conditions, not just type 1 diabetes.
It takes great courage and inner strength to change from what is known and comfortable to something that is new and fresh. Man, ain't that the truth? Man, ain't that the truth? Man, ain't that the truth?
Brazil will host the World Cup this summer in the middle of one of the worst droughts in decades. Sao Paulo is already home to 20 million and is expecting 600,000 soccer fans. But this dry season already drained much of its main reservoir supply. It's at less than 12% capacity and declining. This could lead to widespread water rationing. Those living near Sao Paulo International Airport